Hi, welcome back to a view from the fourth floor. I'm Khalid, and welcome to the next episode. So, what are we going to talk about? Well, there's lots of options. Starters, we can talk about the development in the Malaysian economy. Yay! Okay, there's nothing to shout about it. Actually, if you think about it, I mean, all around people are complaining about rising cost of living. I think since March, the government just implemented a new rate for the sales tax. It's now at 8% compared to 6% previously. But there are some distinctions in terms of how it is being applied. Uh, if I can recall, I think in some certain areas the sales tax increase doesn't apply. But with any increases in taxation, you can expect that the effect to be multiplied or to be compounded. And all in all, you should see, prices of goods, services to increase because, hey, people in business or people who have mom and pop shops and all that, they still need to pay the bills, and they still need to pay whenever they purchase services or goods that is then used for the purpose of their business. And of course, we will see that happening, and that of course will put more pressure on the people, and calls for the government to do something. It seems like they may have a plan, or or something. I mean, thinking about what can be done, and there are efforts to ensure that assistance is given to the right target. People who need help should receive help. But yeah, I mean, there's a lots of things happening, and there's a lot of things happening. But if you are looking at your own area, your own expenses, your own constraints and whatnot, I think we all will feel a bit of pressure. And I guess when it boils down to individual actions, we need to look at what are the things that we can control to make life better for ourselves. Yeah, talking about the economy, I think the EPF just recently announced its dividend rate. I think it's around 45.5%, which is good because a lot of money being held in EPF. That's like dividends being filed out onto your savings. But it's money that you can't touch now. You have to wait until you retire, and who knows, might die. That's why sometimes you feel that, hey, maybe we should allow people access to those funds to do as they please. What's the good? What's the point of having X amount to retire when you won't even reach retirement age? Well, that's just me talking. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people in.
Exit left to exit 2317 TTDI Utara.
Okay, obviously I'm driving. Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of people in situations where they feel that, hey, my current levels of income, my expenses are high, and look at my savings in the EPF. Oh, I have a lot of savings there. Can I use the money now to alleviate some of this high cost of living? Well, the government did it before. They famously, remember, called it assistance, when we were allowed to take out money from our EPF account. You know, being allowed to use our own money for reasons. I think it was done twice, maybe during the pandemic, as a means of assistance. Well, it's not assistance if you think about it, right? Because it's your own money. I know. I mean, EPF is meant to be your means, you know, when you retire, right? When you retire, you need to have funds, and that's what the saving is supposed to do. But if your life is hard now, you need to use the money now. Why can't you, right? Well, anyway, I think for last year, there was there was an announcement or something that talked about maybe allowing a certain portion of the EPF account to be used for your at your own discretion or something. But I don't know what's the
Stay to the left to Jalan Datuk Sulaiman.
what's the progress of that, because you know that would be something, right? That would enable or allow some kind of recourse. Yeah, but I don't know. Let's see if it happens or not. Well, next let's talk about musical influence. Now, me growing up from the age of, I don't know, 12 to 13, I've always listened to rock or grunge music. My favorite band was Nirvana, and I remember that the Nevermind, that album was like the
In
first
300 meters, exit left to exit 2316A. Then stay to the right.
the first cassette that I bought using my own money. Saved a bit to buy the cassette. I don't think even kids know what cassettes are anymore. But hey, yeah, Nirvana. I was more influenced by my brothers. I think Metallica. And when I was a bit older, I was listening to Pearl Jam, Muse, and I always feel that my musical taste is kind of fixed in a way, rock. But as you grow older and you meet more people, your musical influences did evolve. Were evolving. I think when I met my wife, I was listening to a lot of her musical preference, a lot more R&B. Yeah, but the thing I want to talk about is how your musical preference change over time. And I think looking at where I am now, I'm at the point where I don't really listen to new music, right? Because if the old ones are still good, or old bands, the bands that you used to listen to still make good music, you don't have that need to find new music. However, my daughter, she is very experimental. And I think she likes to browse YouTube music, and sometimes YouTube's algorithm are quite funny, right? I mean, they would recommend certain musical genre, something that you have probably never heard before, but just take a listen, and if you like it, you stick to it. So she recently, I think, introduced me to some new bands. I don't know, I've not heard of it before. A bit screamy, shouty music. I call it. I think some of the bands like Screaming with Sirens. Is it Screaming with Sirens? Or Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil. Those are all the screamy, shouty ones. And there's also bands like I Don't Know How, What They Found Me, Brobacks, or something. And all these bands are like new music to me. And the thing is, I mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, it's new. It's something new, and it's something that us, me and my daughter, we can like vibe to, right? In the car when I send her to school. Oh, Daddy, I wanna listen to some screamy, shouty music. Okay, so yeah, it's fine. I mean, imagine that you try to influence your kids to listen to the music that you like, right? I mean, I introduced what you call that? I introduced Muse to her. I even introduced um, Linkin Park and all that. But I think some of the music that she listens to, she did explore by herself, which is great. I think it's good that you take the time to explore your musical taste. And I think her brother, her younger brother, is kind of also like influenced with this screamy, shouty music. So here's a clip of them singing in the car of one of the songs from Sleeping with Sirens. That's great, right? I mean, singing in the car is something that we do. uh, I think my daughter is like, I think for her one of her birthday, I think we bought her a mobile karaoke mic, a mic that comes with a speaker. So at first she wasn't into using it that much, but along the way, I think she found it interesting. Or she likes to sing. Oh man, she likes to sing. And sometimes when we go on road trips, she'll bring that mic in the car, and if she's like bored with the music, Daddy, I want to karaoke. Okay, let's karaoke. And her selection of music, I tell you, yeah, it's different, but I still can tolerate it because I think she's a rock chick deep inside, and I can vibe to that. And brings us back to the influence. I mean, you as a parent, you try to influence a kid, but you also are influenced by your kids, right? And that's good. That's something that you can enjoy together, and hopefully tolerate each other. Yeah. Last thing I want to talk about is I think over the last week there was Bumiputra Economic Congress of some sort that was held, and some of the tidbits that came to my attention was I think the action or announcement by the PM talking about how we want to try to create like X amount of jobs for Bumiputra, raising the pay to around 3,000 ringgit a month. And I can't help but wonder, I mean, is that the way to go, right? Because I believe that I think the policies that you already have to address or to tackle the Bumiputra situation is not working as it is intended. No, don't get me wrong. I mean, some of us have benefited from some of those policies, and the idea of trickle economics, where you have like Bumiputra businessmen getting contracts and supposed to spread the wealth, grow other Bumiputras. It is happening to a certain extent, but is it really working? Because like after how many years of the policies being in place, we still have the scenario or the situation where we are still in the position that we are disadvantaged or losing out. But I don't know. I mean, I'm in the view that if you focus on development for all Malaysians, I mean, policies that addresses all Malaysians, focusing on level of income, focusing on needs, then it will sort itself out. Why do I say that? For example, if you say Malays are amongst the poorest, right? And you come out with a policy that addresses the poor in general, increasing, giving them job opportunities, probably raising their level of income. And if you do that across the board, then of course the majority of the poor are Malays, so the Malays will be benefiting from that, right? And if you say that you want to address certain policies on certain job skills or certain training or whatnot, and you feel that you want to focus just on one segment, you are pretty much excluding a lot of others, a lot of other people, right? So policies that is inclusive, that addresses the needs of people, will effectively work, or if it works, will address the needs of your target audience. Now, if you're a Malay politician, you want to target or pander to the Malays, if you have policies that benefit all Malaysians, wouldn't the Malays be in part of that group of people who will benefit? Right? Is it controversial? I don't know. I always feel that focus on the big picture. What is the big picture? We want better quality of life for all Malaysians, right? All Malaysians should have access to good quality education, should have access to better paying jobs. And if the government, or through whatever policies that they do, addresses that, wouldn't that mean everyone will benefit? Am I being idealistic? I don't know. Am I? Is it easier to say? Is it easy to say but difficult to do? I don't know. Really, I don't know, honestly. Because it does feel like sometimes you're trying too hard to pander to certain demographics, certain audience. You kind of leave out or exclude others when you shouldn't. Recently, when they had a big brouhaha over the types of food that become like heritage food, like warisan or heritage food, and somehow there were a lot of other foods in there, but what caught the attention of people was bak kuteh, bak kuteh, right? The dish that is eaten by the Chinese. And people were angry, not all, not everyone, but certain segments were angry that, hey, that's got babi or pork, pig, haram. Why you want to promote food that is haram or not, not respecting of the sensitivities. Hello, we're in Malaysia. We're talking about heritage of a multiracial country. And it's not haram to others. If it's haram to you, so be it lah. You don't eat it. But the fact that cannot lah, we must appreciate the sensitivity. What sensitivities? I mean, come on. If it's not for you, don't eat it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But don't try to impose your views on others when you shouldn't. Because there are a lot of other areas that we want to argue about. There's a lot of things, but when it comes to this supposedly sensitive subject, why do you want to go that way? I myself, bak kuteh, if you like it, you like it. I don't remember having any or probably different name or something, because there's halal version of all foods these days, right? But that kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah, but again, with culture or with people, right? As you mix with more people, sometimes you assimilate certain cultures. Sometimes you know, some food transcends different cultures. Nasi lemak, you have nasi lemak for everyone, right? And you know yourself, you know your limitations, you know what you can or can't have. Just focus on that lah. Don't lah, you know, don't disrupt or don't kacau other people's happiness just because you can, right? So yeah, I think that's the end of the episode. I think thank you for listening me rambling, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.